lineup here on Saturday?
Probably, yeah. I don't see a reason to change it.
Were you happy with the way Riley started
Yeah, I thought
things?
Riley was really good. I thought all three of the guys were good. You know, we need all three of them.
I know it's been a few years. Can you just tell the recruiting, like how Riley, that all materialized, getting him here?
Well, I mean, I coached his brother when I coached Connor and Patrick on a 4th grade AAU team. And so I've known his dad and his mom all that time. And then we started tracking Riley when he was at Albany Academy, and then when he was at St. Thomas More. His brother was one of the coaches there. His older brother, not the one I coached, the other one. So I've known the family, and always thought he had great potential. Fabulous young man, Dean's List, worker, and it's just, you know, it's always rewarding to see a guy continue to grind and you know, make it happen.
You know, Fran, you talk a lot about you move on, live in the moment, but as you're preparing for this game, do you bring up much of what happened in the first game against Wisconsin?
Oh yeah, always.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they made 21 threes. Now granted, they were on fire, but you know, our defense has to be better than it was that night. And sometimes it's a function of poor shot selection, poor ball movement on offense that leads to opportunities in transition, because they run a lot more now than they have before. The last couple of years, they've done that, and they've got a team that can do that. But they're also a team that has eight or nine guys that can make threes, so they're not an easy team to guard. So, you always address what happened the last time, because we did some things well, but not enough, clearly.
Does addressing what happened last time include maybe what was said after the game by a member of the Badgers?
That's more of a media type thing, but
Yeah,
because a lot, I know you don't. Do your players care about it, or?
I don't know. I guess you have to ask them.
I knew that was going to be. So you're not a big bulletin board.
I am the most anti-bulletin board guy. I always get a kick out of that. You know, it's always like we're going to play really hard, but because somebody said something, we're going to play really, really, really hard. There's only one way to play.
You're right.
You know, and that's what we try to do.
You guys certainly have had your fair share of adversity this year, and with that one out, that just kind of added to it. What does it say about the guys in the locker room that they still came out and put together a full 40 minutes?
Yeah, that's a group that has character, and we pride ourselves in doing our homework to recruit players that we think have those qualities, because without them you can't win, especially when adversity hits. So it's a solid group, top to bottom, great leadership, and I'm proud to have those guys in a Hawkeye uniform.
I know being without Owen hurts, but what do you feel like has kind of held you guys back from having more prolonged stretches of the quality play?
Prolonged stretches of what?
Like quality play, of being able to string together for...
You know, sometimes there's a lot of things that happen throughout the course of the game. Sometimes it's what they do. Sometimes we have good shots, they don't go in. You know, we have guys in foul trouble. It could be a number of things.
When looking at Sadhu coming out early in the second half, I know you said post-game that it was kind of a lackadaisical pass. Is that a conversation you had with him, something you're really working with him?
That's the only thing holding him back right now. He's incredibly talented. He's smart. He's a wonderful young guy. He plays at his pace, which can be a real positive at times, but sometimes you need to rev it up. And you need to know who you're playing against. That was not a casual game. It never is against Purdue. So, you know, that limited his playing time. So hopefully he learns from that and be better Saturday.
Is that like a conversation you have with him after the game or anything?
Yeah. It's kind of ongoing with whoever you're coaching, you know, what you think that person needs to be better at. Yeah, so those conversations are consistent, whether it be in film sessions, one-on-one, at practice, sometimes in the office.
How important is it to not let Tanji go off? It seems like at times he just catches fire.
He's, you know, you talk about guys that have an aggressive scoring mindset,
Yeah.
and there's a number of them in our league, always has been, always will be. But he's that guy. You know, tremendous confidence in himself, his ability, constantly attacking, driving the ball in transition in half court. But he's not just a driver, he's a shooter. He's really shooting a high number from three. So those guys are hard to guard because there's a lot of space. So, you know, it's a collective effort to contain a guy like him.
Going back to Riley, so he didn't play his senior year in high school. Was that just, did you guys have an extra roster spot, or what went into that?
We
decision?
needed a big guy. We were looking at that time, grad transfers. And we just felt like, you know, he could come in and be a guy, whether it be at practice or play him if we had to. And you know, he's been one of the most consistent practice players we've had. And when I've called his number, he's typically produced.
Can you just maybe put into context like how difficult it is for a big to go from junior year of high school to playing in the Big Ten?
Yeah, that's a big jump. He handled it well, I think, from a very positive perspective. The thing you know about Riley, anybody that's around him, is one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. So he's not going to ever get down on himself. He's going to keep plugging away. If he has a bad day, he'll try to have a better day the next day. He's not going to linger on him typically.
Plugging Drew into the starting lineup and having Brock come off the bench with Drew presumably as your one, shifting him from the 2 to the 1. I guess, what has that been like?
Well, I think, you know, we haven't done it, it's only been one game. Really proud of Brock. You know, he handled that extremely well. I thought he was terrific the other night, and that's the bottom line. I mean, they're both going to play a lot anyway, and they're still going to play a lot together. It's just nice to have that flexibility, I think.
I know you seem confident that free throws were going to get better. That's still been an issue at times. I mean, what are you kind of seeing as?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have good shooters. You know, I don't get concerned. I mean, we did miss 4 in a row in the first half. That hurt us a little bit. That's 2 of our best shooters. They'll typically make them.
How has Sadhu responded since Tuesday night?
Yeah, we were off yesterday,
Okay.
so we go today.
Thanks, Fran.